Now then, everybody, just wanted to give you a little update and yeah, just a sort of heads up and where I'm at, what's happening, and we'll finish off with a little Q&A. But no, I've sort of been out of the loop a little bit, just sort of keeping away. I haven't been to any meetings or anything like that really, and yeah, there's a few reasons why, but no, first of all, just thank you everyone for all the support. It really is pretty cool, and it's been awesome. It's been very nice actually, so that's the first thing. But no, we'll get into it. You know, obviously the questions are, when are you back? Am I going to do the British final? And then got a few notes here, by the way. And then yeah, the other one is just part of the reason why I've been keeping away and not wanting to be at any meetings and such. It's mainly just the whole thing that you get of you know, everyone telling you, which is great that people have your back, but it's like, oh, don't come back too early and don't push it. And the worst one is actually just people coming and telling me, yeah, it sucks to be injured, doesn't it? And yeah, what a shame. I'm like, well, yeah, it is, but maybe it isn't. Who knows? But it is what it is. I'm injured and I'm out. And yeah, if you do see me, please don't tell me that. Like, come on. I'm trying to have a good time, and you just feel like it's a bit of killing the vibe, you know. But no, I know anyone else saying that and whatever, I know you mean well. Yeah, that's the important thing. Obviously, I know you mean well, but no, it is what it is. We'll get into it. Really, my physio and recovery, everything is going pretty good. Not as well as I maybe would have liked, but it is going well. I am feeling better and able to do more and more stuff. But that brings us to the British final, and so if we go back probably a month from now, my plan was to, 2 weeks ago, we'll probably go back 6 weeks. My plan from then was that 2 weeks ago I was coming back to England, and I was going to get the 125 Speedway bike out, do a little bit of riding, and then do sort of a week on that, play around. And then this week my plan was to be riding the 500, get down, work it and spin a few laps, and do the British final. But unfortunately that plan never really materialized. So yeah, on that, I'll just get out the way. I will be pulling out the British final. It's Wednesday night now. I think they should announce that tomorrow. So I will be pulling out. It is something I really wanted to do, and even up until this week, I did a mountain bike race on the weekend on Saturday, and I actually felt really good. And I kind of thought, well, see how I recover and see how I feel after that, because I kind of feel like I could just get on and get straight into it. It's almost a waste of time practicing. In a way, you can just go straight to the tapes, and you perform different when you race. In a way, it's easy to go fast if you race. So in a way, if I felt good, I was prepared just to rock up on Saturday night and go for it. So, but no, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I was feeling like I'm getting better and better, but done a mountain bike race Saturday, and you're racing, you put a bit more effort in. Couple heavier hits, but nothing crazy. I've been doing a lot of stuff that people might question, thinking, how can you do that? If you can do that, you should be able to race speedway. But I can ride a mountain bike and things like that, and really what's the word, so compensate with your good leg, and really just take the load off and don't do anything to hurt yourself. You know what hurts and whatever. So anyways, after that was on Saturday, and really I didn't feel very good until Tuesday, and even today I feel like I'm just not fully recovered from it. And that sort of I was kind of thinking, dependent, if I had a good recovery from that could have been me feeling good to go, but that's not quite happened. But yeah, that's what it is. My current plans at the moment, saying this, World Cup's in 2 weeks, two and a half weeks, and that is still a goal of mine. I'd love to race there, to race in Warsaw, temporary track. World Cup's always been my favourite meeting in Speedway, So that is obviously a huge goal, just to be back in time for that. And at the moment, that's my target. So we'll see. If I had to be honest with you right now, it's tough to say. It's like sort of 50-50. A lot of this seems very vague, probably, but it's just so hard to say anything for definite. You know, I still have some pains and stuff like that, but yeah, they could just disappear instantly. And like, it sounds funny saying that, but you know, I have sort of been through this before. But yeah, it's just tough to say. I'd like to think in an ideal world, you know, when you're all the time sort of pushing and pushing, trying to build and build to get stronger, you almost never let yourself fully recover in a way. Which, you know, since the weekend I've been taking it kind of easy, just trying to actually allow a bit of time to recover. But so you never really get a true sense of where you're at, because, you know, maybe one day you're doing sort of pushing exercises, and then other days, you know, sort of pulling, you know, hamstring exercises and stuff like that. So your legs always kind of sore in one area, or, you know, doing hip workouts or whatever, stuff like that. So one area might be sore, one area might be good, but you never really have this true idea of what you like when you're all rested. But no, so my current plans, that's where I'm at. So yeah, and then that's about all I've got to say currently. We've got a little bit of a Q&A. Thank you to everybody that left some questions. I haven't got back to them all. Some of them I'd have to probably go a bit more in depth, and it might take a bit of time. But a quick one. Sorry, I haven't got your name wrote down, but it'd be what you could do. No, sorry. We'll start off. We've got Mark. How's your fitness, Mara? Well, if I was honest, my general fitness, taking a leg out of it, all things considered, through my injury, I've had it's like a 7 kilo up and down of weight. So yeah, I was 4 kilo down, and I was 3 kilos up, and then I'm sort of stabilized now. So that's been wild. And through all that, right now I'd say my strength's not 100%, but it's pretty good. You know, I feel pretty fit, pretty good. Obviously not 100%, but to be honest, I feel actually, if I needed to, if my leg was good enough, I'd be fit enough to ride, no problem. So I feel, to be honest, I feel good to go and ready for it. Clive, have I had any practice yet? No, I actually haven't. So I've rode a motocross bike, rode mountain bikes and stuff, but the actual thing that hurts me the most, it would probably be exactly what I'd have to do riding speedway. So I can ride a motocross bike, I've just got to compensate. I know it sounds funny to say that, but I can ride a motocross bike. Basically, I don't take my feet off the foot peg at any point. My left leg just stays on the foot peg. Absolutely no chance of me putting the foot down in a corner. And I've done a few days now and sort of getting used to it. It feels quite normal. So but no, so through that, I haven't touched a speedway bike yet. I feel like when I'm 100% good to go, good to race, then that's when I'll ride a speedway bike. We got Lisa. Any speedway riders that inspired you to take up the sport? So I've touched on this quite a few times, but pretty easy question. It was Chris Alder, Darcy Ward, Pool Pirates, best heats on speedway, best speedway heats on Facebook. They were always popping up when I was a kid, and that was it really. And then outside of that, it probably would have been Rich Lawson, Craig Cook, and then Aaron Summers. Seeing those guys at work, and mainly Aaron. Aaron was the one that really turned me, seeing live. We've got a question from Andy. Am I tempted to ride grass track? There's been a few questions about grass track. One was how much would it take? So don't know. Yeah, grass track's funny. I've never been to an actual grass track. I used to stay with Andy Smith quite a lot. He used to show me a lot of videos of him. A few of him crashing sort of put me off a little bit. But no, I maybe would give it a go. I'd like to have a ride. I don't really know if I want to race it. But yeah, roost on that looks crazy. And then question from Harold. Track record at Northside. Track record attempt at Northside next year. Well, funnily enough, I already have a track record at Northside, so don't really need to attempt it again. But no, I'd love to actually get a meeting there. If I could race there somehow, that'd be brilliant. Question from Martin. This I could probably go into it all day, but what could be done to revitalise British Speedway? Just a quick point I'll put on this because it could go on. The Rising Star system, in my opinion, if you wanted just a quick fix for British Speedway. So currently, if you get last in the league, you get first pick of the Rising Stars for the following season. Or so I believe. It's something along those lines anyway. Which, in my opinion, it takes all incentive out of actually building young riders and building the future of the sport. So, in my opinion, you know, that rule should be out. The Rising Stars should be free to ride anywhere they choose. And, you know, if you looked at the likes of Will Cairns, if you want to win the league, you need good juniors, good Rising Stars. So, if that's how you win the league, then it puts more incentive to actually put practice days on and bring the next generation through. So bring the next generation through, and then you get just a knock-on effect. Everything comes from there, from the next generation and bringing riders through. British Speedway, the huge problem it's gonna have is lack of riders, and yeah, that would just be a small step in my opinion to get it in the right direction. But yeah, it's a big subject. We could go into that all day. Question from Andrew. Difference between UK and Poland bikes and team. In the UK, currently I'd have 2 bikes here and then be 5 to 6 bikes in Poland. Main reason being, you know, travel, realistically, it's not that much in England. You race Mondays and Thursdays, and if you bend a bike, then you actually have time to fix it, sort of thing. So obviously you'd have, you know, spares to fix it and stuff like that. But, you know, for a GP, for example, if you, you know, race in Poland on a Saturday night and then on a Friday night, and you've got a GP on a Saturday, sometimes I'll just well, mechanics, I have 3 mechanics in Poland, I've got 1 mechanic in England. They would sort of just leave those bikes, take the engines out, if you had 2 dirty bikes, for example, and just take 3 clean bikes to a GP. Or if you were to bend up a bike, sometimes you just don't have time to fix it, and it might take you a week to get time, you know, with travelling and stuff like that. So you'd almost just cast that one to the side and come back to it at a later date. So to be honest, they're almost just 2 different worlds, the two. But yeah, end of the day, you just got to twist the throttle, and racing's racing. Question from Matthew. Favourite MX track? I actually read this before, so obviously I made these notes, so I had a good think about this. I would say Doon in Scotland. I remember racing at Blacksall when I was on 85s. I thought that was a pretty cool track for whatever reason. And then outside of that, it'd be the GP track in Sardinia. That's probably the coolest track I've rode. But yeah, to be honest, tough to say. When you're having a good day, you could be on the shittest track in the world and it's brilliant. So yeah, just if you're having a good day, you're having a good day. Question from Stephen. New GP venue. Where would I like to see a GP? He said about Ireland in his question, but obviously that would be pretty cool to race in Ireland. I believe that they did have Speedway there in the 70s, but to be honest, any temporary track I think would be pretty cool. I actually went I think it was Arena Cross at AO Arena in Manchester, and I actually think that would be pretty cool somewhere like Aston Villa. Yeah, just places I've seen bikes before, but I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, it could be anywhere, to be honest. I kind of think maybe something in Spain would be cool as a country, but yeah, who knows. But yeah, I'd like to see Cardiff come back. Question from Derek. Last film I watched, if you can call it a film, I'm not sure. It'd be Life Cycles. It's a mountain bike movie. It's pretty good watch. It's quite old now, but that was good. But actual films, it would be Surf's Up and Points Break. Kind of 2 surfing films. I think one's definitely the last cartoon I've watched. I don't remember what time I watched the cartoon before that, but yeah, Surf's Up and Point Break, brilliant films. Nathan, any new skills? He's talking about the one-handed, after the one-handed drag. To be honest, I can't take credit. He's talking about, dragging a hand on the ground while you're doing a bit of a slide. I actually got that from Batch Attack. Troy did that at Ribnick, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and it's not actually that hard, to be honest, but no, I don't know. Sort of was doing that for a bit, the old Darcy wheelie, try and wheelie a lap, but no, nothing, don't know, it's tough to come up to sort of, I don't know, a screeny wheelie, but not throwing any shade, but I've done it before and I don't really get the hype. But no, I've seen someone try a backwards facing wheelie, but I don't really know about doing that either. Don't know, give me some ideas. Where we at? Question from Rob. Favourite event? I think his question was favourite event outside of Speedway. So I would say possibly Western Beach Race that I've done. Or last week I actually did Bommy Skyline, the first time I've ever done sort of a mountain bike event, and absolutely loved it. I actually think it's probably one of the best things you can do. Awesome weekend, and I'd love to do some more, so probably that, but it was last week, so it's a bit fresher in the memory. But no, Western was cool, kind of cool to do arena cross, stuff like that. I did a golf competition, that was quite cool, but golf in it, rather ride bikes. But no, and then in Speedway, I don't really know, maybe World Cup in Rosslare was pretty cool, and then Golden Helmet, that's quite a cool meeting. Tough to say, there's been a lot of meetings. And then question from Rory, outside of Bellevue, what's your favourite track in the UK? Normally I would say Kings Lynn, and an honourable mention would be Edinburgh. I loved riding there, that was a pretty cool spot. And then I was actually saying the other day, I actually think my best track in England, even including Bellevue, average-wise, there would be a way to find it out. Maybe if you take out my first couple of seasons, but over the last few years, I actually think Sheffield's my best track on average in the UK. So somebody might know that. I think my average at Sheffield is better than it is at Bellevue. So I don't know why. Quite get on well with the spot. Quite like it. Question from Izzy. Arena cross plans this winter? I don't know. Probably not. I feel like I've scratched that itch. It was alright. I sort of don't feel like I was really going good enough to make me want to do it again. I wasn't blitzing whoops. I feel like I could do some better jumps. I'd really just never got comfortable on the start on the electric bike. So I wouldn't mind trying it on a normal bike, but no, to be honest, I feel like I've scratched that itch. I actually just enjoy riding motocross more, I think, and I don't really we've scratched it. And then to finish, we got a question from Matt Hydale. Any plans to go to Australia in the winter? I don't really know what my plans are for the winter, but probably not, to be honest. But we'll see. Everything, I don't know what I'm doing in 2 weeks' time at the minute, so probably not. Final, to sum up, there are quite a few people asking about, will I be at the British final just in person, and then will I have merch stand there? So answer is probably not for both of probably I won't be there on Saturday night. I'll be watching on ITV4. It's on, I've just seen that. I'll be watching on TV, but I probably won't be there. But no, I'm sure it'll be a great night, and then I won't have a merch stand there or anything like that. If anyone does want anything, I haven't got a lot left, but check out my website, and it's been pretty cool watching the GPs to see see a few people still remember me, still supporting me, seeing a few flags up, a few shirts and stuff like that. So cool to see, nice to see. And if you are gone on Saturday night, yeah, you can still support me even though I'm not there. That'd be much appreciated. But no, thank you all for your time. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all the good messages. And hopefully see you trackside soon. We'll see.